Hey friends, it's Simon Hurley and welcome to a brand new video. Now you guys, I am so excited. The Simon Hurley Create Stamping Foam, which we released back in January, is now back in stock, which I am super excited about. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for it. Some of you guys might not have even seen it yet, which is so exciting, and I'm ready to craft and share some different techniques in today's video using the stamping foam. I'll have links down below where you guys can purchase it. We have a feeling we might sell out again of this batch. We've ordered quite a bit of it though, but the next one is already on its way here, so it should be here soon if this does sell out. I just wanted to let you guys know that in advance so that you know. We're all in the know here. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. I'm going to run through some of the basics in today's video, but I really want to focus it on embossing folders and dies as well because I didn't share those last time. But if you guys want to see all of the basics and tips and tricks, I'll leave a link in the top right corner up here for you guys to check it out. Without further ado, let's get into some of the techniques. Alright, so in the bag you have 4 blocks of the stamping foam, which is really awesome, and this is reusable. However, after a little while it kind of shrinks a little bit from the heat, so I just like to open a new pack every once in a while, and it's not too expensive to do so either. So I've already shared in a past video that I like to use my Simon Hurley Create acrylic blocks. These come in a pack of 2, and this one is sized perfectly to fit the stamping foam, where you tape the stamping foam to an acrylic block. And this makes it so that you have a really nice grip on it, because sometimes this can be a little bit squishy and bendable. So what this is going to do is it's just going to allow us a really easy handle so that you can press into this almost like you would a stamp, and you get an even pressure all around because of the hard flat surface of the acrylic block. Alright, so today I'm going to use some embossing folders. I'm going to start off with the Scalloped 3D flowers from Altenew, and the cool part about embossing folders is it's got a raised side and also a debossed side. And I'll show you the difference with the stamping foam, because the stamping foam is going to give you an inverse of whatever this is. It'll make sense in just a second. I'm gonna take my heat tool. Now you could use any heat tool. I know this one looks like a blow dryer, but it does get a lot hotter than a blow dryer. And the reason why I like this is because number one, it's pretty quiet, but also it has a more evenly dispersed heat around the foam, which makes it easier to heat up the whole thing at once. But you're gonna wanna keep your heat source consistently moving for about 15 to 20 seconds. And once you're ready, you can place it and stamp it down into whatever surface you're going to create with. And again, that acrylic block makes it easy to just give a full pressure into it. And you can see how quickly I did that. You want to do it pretty quick because then it's going to give you the best transfer possible. So this impression gave me a debossed impression, and it was the embossed side of the embossing folder, and I'll share the other side in just a second here. So then we're going to take our inks and start inking this up. Now I'm going to start off with a little bit of Over the Moon, which is my lightest yellow color. And one thing I've loved doing recently with colors is kind of doing a like monochrome look, or taking like several colors, so these are all warm shades, and then I like to create a little bit of depth and dimension. So I start off with like the lightest color right in the center, and then I'll take kind of a mid-tone of that same color, go around the edge, and then we can start taking some darker and richer colors around the edge as well. And last but not least, we'll go in with a little bit of Game Over, which is like my deepest red in the collection, and just add that to the corners and edges. Now you'll see, like between the yellow and pink, it was a really drastic change, and so for that, I can go in with my blending tool. This is just one of the ink blending tools, and blend out that really super harsh line, and that helps to kind of soften things a little bit. So if you want to, this is a really good option to smooth things out if you notice some harsh lines. All right, now with this, I'm going to take it with my distress sprayer and just a little bit of water. You can kind of see the distance I'm holding it at, and I just like to give it a slight miss about 2 to 3 times, and you can see the distance. You want it enough so that there's a little bit of water on the surface that you can see, but not big globs of water where it creates too much of a watercolor. And then I'll kind of line it up onto my stark white cardstock, and then give it some good pressure and stamp it down. And again, this acrylic block helps to give that even pressure all the way around. And once you're done stamping that, you have your beautiful stamped image, which is totally from an embossing folder, and you couldn't get this look without the stamping foam, so it really gives a whole new life to your supplies. We can totally try a second print if we want to. I'm just gonna add a lot more water to it, and we'll see what we get out of this one. You can just stamp it down onto the surface, wait for things to transfer a second, and here we have just a much softer version of what we had stamped earlier. I still like it. You get a nice impression from that second version. All right, so I'll just spray it down, and then to clean, I just go in with a little bit of water and a rag, and with my inks especially, they're super easy to clean off the stamping foam because they're just water-based. So if your ink doesn't usually stain, it shouldn't stain the stamping foam either. And then you can heat set it. So again, I'm going to bring back in my heat tool. I said this was reusable, so you guys can kind of see the magic on screen here. I'm going to just start heating it for, again, about 10 to 15 seconds, and you can see that image is just totally disappearing into that stamping foam. Look at that, and you could use it over and over again now. Now, I've gotten lots of questions in the past about, like, can I leave an image on there as long as I want? And to my knowledge, yes, I have images from January that I had printed down and can keep as that stamping foam. It doesn't soften or anything like that. It stays into that foam until you heat it again, which is really great. All right, so we just did the raised side, but now let's try the debossed side of this, and it should create an embossed image on our stamping foam. So again, let's go in and heat this up. All right, and then once that's ready, we can press it right down into our embossing folder. And look at that great image that you're able to get. So this is just the complete opposite of what we did earlier, and now let's ink it up. I'll go in with another kind of monochrome look, using a little bit of breakup blue, and then go through the blues family. Now, I wanted to talk about kind of how I'm inking this up, and if you guys saw my first videos, you'll know that this is my recommendation. I like to go in with my ink pad, and instead of doing like tapping, where you can kind of get some indents on here, I go in and I rub and swipe my ink pad onto the surface for a couple different reasons. I find that it applies the ink most smoothly onto the surface and gives you the most bold and vibrant color you can get. But then also, another reason why I really like to do it this way is because I find that you can get coverage along the area and you're not like pressing into the surface, because sometimes with the stamping foam, you want just a light application of ink. So I just go lightly on the top of the surface and it'll catch the raised areas, but then leave the kind of unraised areas or debossed areas less inked. So it can give you kind of a cooler effect as well. I don't know, it's just my 2 cents. This is how I find the best way to apply the ink is. And stamp it down onto my surface. And look at that stunning image that you get from there. So if we compare the two, this is the embossed version that we did first on the embossing folder, and this is the debossed version, which of course gives the opposite effect on the stamping foam. And you guys can totally see these are really different. This one kind of along the outline has more white, and then the image is more solid, just like the background. And this one, the image stands out a little bit more because it's done almost entirely in white, rather than having the outlines just be white. So it's just two completely different looks you can get from both sides of your embossing folder, which I think is really cool. And then what I like to do is, when I'm kind of reheating it, if I know I'm gonna keep crafting with the stamping foam, I like to just keep it heated and move right on into my next project. So here I'm going to use the 3D Waves embossing folder from Memory Box. I've wanted to get some use out of this one since I got it, and I'm going to use the embossed side to create a debossed image on my stamping foam, and oh my gosh, look at just how amazing and crisp that image turned out on the stamping foam. So for this, I'm gonna again go in with a couple different variations of my blue from my line on a couple of the areas on my foam. And then to finish it off, we'll do Midnight Snack in some areas as well, and bring that deep dark blue onto the image. And again, if you want to, you can always go in and just kind of swipe to help blend some of those colors together, and then give it a good press to make sure that all of the ink transfers onto the surface. Guys, I've been super excited to share this next technique as well. So my Lunar paste recently came out, and you guys have been loving this as much as I have, which is so exciting. But I have secretly behind the scenes been using it along with my stamping foam. And now that the stamping foam is back in stock, I wanted to share this technique with with you. So I'm going to take it onto my blending sponge like this. You can also use it and roll it on a brayer, but I find that this is really easy to do. And all I'm going to do is just apply a little bit all over my stamping foam, and you could do this in several different areas. I tend to do it with kind of a lighter hand, just so that it glides across the surface of my stamp and hits the high points, because I just want the paste in those areas. And then we can take our foam, again, lined it exactly up with how it was. That's what I love about this. It's just a simple rectangle, so it's super easy to line up right over top of the same image. And then give good pressure to make sure that that lunar paste transfers all over my stamped image. And when I peel it off, so check out how cool that is. When you add the paste down, you just get that beautiful shine stamped over top in those same areas that you would have it. Of course, you could blend it on, but by stamping it, you get all of the same spaces in white as you would, and then you get some of the stamped areas in whatever color lunar paste you put on top for that shine. And then of course, same thing, I like to just clean the lunar paste, especially when it's nice and wet like this. I tend to flood it with some water, and then I just go in with my rag or paper towel and really easily clean that off, and it comes off nice and easy while it's still wet. All right, now I want to do a project with dies to show you that, because I also didn't share that when it first released. So I'm going to use the butterfly wings dies from Brutus Monroe. I love these dies, and I want to create kind of a scene on today's card. And I also have a fun tip with word dies, and this is using one of Altenew's new sets called the All About You word die set. For this technique, you just want a die set that's going to have the shadows as well, and you can set aside the word die for now. So to plan my scene out, I'm going to take the acrylic block, which is going to be the same size as that. You better bet I have several sets of these. I use them all the time. It's worth it, trust me. So I'm going to just kind of plan it out by holding this above and seeing exactly where I want everything. I think I'm going to put my butterflies there, and then I'm going to have my shadow be right like that. So I placed the butterflies with the cutting side up because I want all that awesome detail, and with the shadow of the word die, I actually placed it cutting side down. This is going to make it so that it reads correctly on the card and gives me the nice shadow where I don't want any ink. You'll see in a second. Make sure it's good and hot, and then we can take it and press it right into our dies. So once we've got that done, you can see the really detailed butterflies and the shadow of the word die, which should look backwards to you right now, and it'll stamp straight. All right, so I'm just going to take my ink pads, starting off with Bee Sting, and just swipe them onto the surface to apply our ink down. When applying ink to this area, I just kept a lighter pressure. There's still ink inside of there, but it kept that really nice light edge, which you'll see in a second. Give it some nice even pressure so that everything transfers. And there we have our beautifully colored in background. This one still looks like it's got lots of ink on it before I clean it off, so I sprayed it down a lot, so it's gonna give me definitely a more watercolor effect. And I thought I would just try stamping it down to see what I get. And oh my gosh, that is so stunning. I love the almost more watercolor and dreamy look of this one. So super cool that you can get both effects from one inking. All right, so then I took the Hello word die and I just die cut it right out. I love this font that they used. It is so stunning. And then if you would hear that right down, it creates kind of that halo of color around the word and then the white around it to make it really stand out. It's almost like it's meant to be right there, and you kind of planned your whole card right around that awesome sentiment and the shadow die. All right guys, I am so in love with the different projects we created in today's video. I hope you enjoyed them as much as I did, and seeing the embossing folders and dies techniques using the stamping foam, because those were things I hadn't shared when it first released. Again, I'll have links down below to the stamping foam so you guys can head over and go shopping now that it is back in stock. And I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and click that subscribe button down below so you never miss another card making video like this one from me. Alright guys, thanks so much for spending time with me, and I'll see you all soon. Bye!